Hey, plumbing pros, welcome to the morning workout. Hey, whether you work out or when you work out and how you work out can pretty much be a determining factor of whether or not you'll be successful with your plumbing business. I should explain, right? All right, hey, first of all, good to have you here in the morning workout. It's good to have you here. For those of you who are new, I'm Richard Bainey, the $1 Million Plumber. I've been a master plumber for now over 40 years. Been in this plumbing game for a long time. Done it all, seen it all. I've bought the t-shirt, all right, all of it, man. And so through all that experience, through all the ups and downs, you learn a thing or two. And that's what I pass on. You know, I built my own plumbing business literally from my kitchen table, with no money, okay, out of a beat up truck, a few hand tools, and built it into a multi-million-dollar plumbing business, and sold it for a lot of money. And I find myself here coaching, which I really enjoy. I do this just to keep me young and alive. I enjoy talking with you guys, so I'll throw this information out. Hey, for those who have ears to hear and are ready, it'll hit home, all right? For those of you, hey, it's where I come from. You know, there's a lot of butt crack plumbers out there, and you may be one. Hey, but if you don't want to be one, listen to this stuff, okay? Hey, if you have your own plumbing business, you're sitting on a gold mine. You just got to know where to dig. All right, so I made this statement about working out. Look, you know, working out really is good for you. First of all, if you don't take pride in yourself, okay, and sadly, there's a lot of guys out there, okay, I see you, you know, you're feeding your pie hole, you're fat and happy and lazy, okay, you watch football weekend long and you think because you're watching other guys sweat and getting it on, that somehow that relates to you, okay, you benefit from that. Look, if you don't care enough to take care of your body, and take care of your health, then man, you ain't gonna have it to make it in the plumbing business. Yeah, you may have work. Okay, I'll get the comments. I got work. I'm doing it. Yeah, you got work. You're just a butt crack plumber out there working, has your name on your truck. All right, but I'm talking about building real wealth. And if you're not willing to invest in yourself, work on yourself, then there's no way in hell you're going to be successful, have a thriving, self-sustaining, very profitable plumbing business. It's just out of 40 years, man. Okay, it's on this side of the game, seen it all, done it all. It's just straight talk. Okay, if this hits home and kind of spurring you on a little bit, good. All right, that's good. If you got attitude, hey, move on down the road, man. Okay, I've seen all you guys. Working out. Okay, you got to take some initiative, take some pride in yourself, man. Then it comes down to actually, you know, consistency, okay? You get in there, you know, you see guys that are, you know, we all were there once, you know, overweight and that kind of thing. So you see the guys they're overweight and that kind of stuff, and good for you, but you're in there doing it, okay? Getting there. Then you got to be consistent, okay? Because it's just like, hey, when we start our plumbing business, we're all excited, you know, we're going to go after it. But man, when the real stuff happens, okay, it's where we start to separate the men from the boys, okay? Okay, having a successful, thriving, self-sustained, very profitable plumbing business has never been easier. It is easier, but it's a war. Okay, it is a war. Business is war. There's no safe spots, safe places, no puppies to hold. You can't put a mask on. All right, there's none of that. Okay, so as soon as that hits, just like when we see the guys, it's New Year's. Okay, and even now, okay, quite frankly, as I'm filming this or having this conversation here, it's a Monday. All right, so a Monday is full. All right. We're going to get back in there and do it again. Okay, by Wednesday, it's thinned out. It's just how it is, okay? You got to be consistent. All right, if you really want to change your body and get somewhere, the same thing goes with your plumbing business, man. You got to be consistent. You got to constantly be on it, okay? It's just how it is. You know, it's business. I'm saying with working out, you know, is, man, get off the freaking phone, okay? And the guys are there working, you know, and they're sitting in their station and you know, they're scroll holing. All right, get your ass out of the seat, okay? First of all, you shouldn't be on the phone scrolling. You got to focus on what you're doing. And then it's rude. I mean, it's so, I mean, just see how the changes. You can see the older guys like me that are been around, and you know, we'll get these little young punks coming in, and you know, they're looking like they're all that. It's just youth, you know. But you know, they're walking in front of you. I mean, they're sitting at the stations, they're working, you know, they're spending half their time chatting, scroll holing, all right, taking up the spot, okay? You gotta stay focused, okay? You gotta stay focused on what you're doing with your business, and it's the daily. It is daily, okay? Eventually, we get you. So if I'm working with our clients, we get them in. You're in the truck. You're chucking the truck. We want to get your butt out of the truck as soon as possible, so you can focus on the business instead of focusing in the business. All right, you focus on the business. But even we get you out of the truck, and even eventually out of the office, okay? And so that you're traveling to do whatever, you still got to focus. You're still looking in, okay? You're still looking in on your asset, all right? You still got to be aware, okay? And I see these guys, they're talking. It's a social club, all right? If you want to be one of the guys, it's the same thing with your plumbing business. You're no longer one of the guys or a plumber and all that. You want to be one of the guys and a plumber. Put the business away and go be one of the guys and be a plumber. Okay, there's nothing wrong with that. But you're no longer one of the guys. Okay, you're not one of the team. It's your team. You're the team owner. It's a whole nother position. All right, and working out, you can really, it creates discipline. Of being there day in, day out, even when you don't feel like it. Your feelings are a little bitch. Let me tell you, I get it. Hey, I gotta be. I'll be transparent, and in my marriage and our relationship, I'm the more emotional one. I'm the one that gets more emotional with the kids and tears up with the kids growing up and that kind of thing. So I'm saying that there's nothing wrong with having the emotion, but your emotions control you. You can't let your emotions control you and play you. So we start our business, we're all excited into it, and we're going to conquer the plumbing world. Okay, get in there and get hard, or we wake up, we're not feeling in them, we're not feeling motivated. Okay, we don't feel like it. Look, guys, first of all, as a man, it doesn't matter what your feelings are. Okay, as your man, first, you're supposed to be out there making yourself stronger, okay, and working on yourself, okay, and working on these assets. And it doesn't matter how you feel, okay. You got to get out there daily, and you got to kill, okay. You got to get out there daily and kill your meal, okay, and drag it back home to the family. Period. I mean, that's your job. It doesn't matter how you feel. It's your responsibility, okay. And that's and you can see that. You can see in the gym with the young guys when they don't put they're not even responsible enough to re-rack their weights, and put the weights in the right spot. I mean, they even got it all numbered out where here's the 25s and the 35s and blah blah blah, whatever. Okay, and they'll just put it mix match or whatever. Okay, take freaking responsibility for yourself. Okay, and it doesn't matter if someone else didn't do it right the time before you. You do it right. Take responsibility. All these things are so simple. It really is simple to have a thriving, self-sustaining, a very profitable plumbing business. But it does come down to, as I've said for now years, and it's one of the first things we make known in the Success Academy is, look, it's learning the right equations and the right customers and the right pricing and all of the right systems. That's 20% of your success. Your success depends on 20% that, okay? And that's really is simple, okay? Now, that's not necessarily easy. It really is simple. But sometimes it can be easy making the changes, and or it can be difficult making the changes and all that, okay? It's not so easy, but it's simple. But 80% of your success has to depend on these internal things. What the garbage you have going up in your head, your personal character, okay? Whether or not you can be resilient, okay, disciplined, those kinds of things, or really are you a pansy at heart, okay? And sadly today, and the last 10, 20, even 30 years have been conditioned to be a pansy and be soft, okay? And business is not soft, okay? Business is war. It's just how it is, okay? So get your ass in the gym, man. Okay, it just builds that, toughens you up a little bit, okay? And you start out light, okay? You're not like you're 21 or 22 and the whole world's ahead of you and you just got that young strength and all that, okay? You just start out, and sooner or later, sooner before you know it, it's just all of a sudden you're lifting more weight and You know, you're being disciplined, and it changes the way you look at things. Okay, and it makes you want to be more disciplined and able to take the hits with your plumbing business. All right, so get your butt in the gym, man. Get your butt in the gym every morning. Just move. Movement is life. All right, there you go. There's my morning workout rant. All right, if no matter where you're seeing this video, where you're at, okay, hit your day, okay, seize your day. All right, take charge of your day. All right, get out there and be dangerous and plumb like a champion.